My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 42 years old, a master sergeant in the United States Army. I've done 4 combat deployments, seen things most people couldn't even imagine, and somehow managed to come back in one piece each time. Not just physically, but mentally too. Or at least that's what I told myself. The battlefield taught me to keep my head down, trust my instincts, and above all, never let your guard down. Funny how I followed that rule religiously overseas, but forgot to apply it at home. I met Sarah when I was 19. She was working part-time at a coffee shop in Fayetteville, North Carolina, not far from Fort Bragg. I was still in basic then, lean, full of energy, still believing in clean beginnings and happy endings. She had this gentle voice, soft eyes, the kind of girl you imagined reading bedtime stories to your kids. I fell for her fast. Too fast, maybe. We got married 2 years later, had our first kid at 24, the second by 27. She stayed home when the kids were young, then started teaching elementary school once they got older. I respected that. I admired how she could juggle lesson plans, PTA meetings, and still have dinner on the table by 6. Every time I left for deployment, she was the anchor. The letters she wrote kept me grounded. Sometimes I'd reread the same one 10 times in a dusty tent just to feel human. And she never missed a care package. Socks, photos, notes from the kids, even little bottles of cologne. 15 years of marriage. 15 years of me trusting her more than I trusted anyone else on earth. We weren't rich, but we made it work. Bought a modest 3-bedroom in a quiet suburb outside of Charleston. Raised 2 damn good kids. I missed a lot of birthdays, school plays, first soccer games, but she never complained. Said she understood the life we signed up for. Said she was proud of me. And I believed him. Maybe that was my first mistake. When I came back from my last deployment in Iraq, I told myself it was over. No more sandstorms, no more bulletproof convoys, no more waking up wondering if a mortar was going to hit the tent. I was done, ready to be present, to really be there. I imagined long mornings making coffee together, lazy Sundays, family road trips, sex without the ticking clock of a leave pass. The first week home was everything I hoped for. Sarah cried when she saw me at the airport, held me so tight I thought my ribs would snap. The kids looked older, they always do after a year away, but they still ran into my arms like they used to. She cooked every night that week. Lasagna, fried chicken, even pecan pie from scratch. She wore that old blue dress I liked. We sat on the porch drinking sweet tea and watching the sun go down like we were in some damn commercial. I kept thinking, this is it. I made it. I survived all that hell to come home to this peace. I felt lucky, so fucking lucky. But something started to itch in my gut. Not all at once. Not like some movie twist where everything crashes in a second. No, this was slow, quiet. A glance too fast. A phone turned face down. The way she suddenly locked her screen when I walked by. The way she hesitated when I kissed her neck. I tried to ignore it. Told myself I was being crazy. PTSD. Reintegration stress. I blamed myself. I was the one who'd been gone. Maybe I forgot how to be a husband. Maybe I was the problem. I spent a lot of time catching up with the kids, fixing things around the house, trying to settle back into civilian rhythm. One evening I was looking for my spare watch charger. Stupid thing always disappears, and I pulled the couch cushions apart. And that's when I found it. Her old tablet. One we hadn't used in at least a year. I almost didn't turn it on, but something made me. Just a gut feeling. The screen lit up. No password, just a home screen full of app icons and the default wallpaper. I tapped the gallery app, figured I'd see pictures of the kids, holidays, maybe some Pinterest screenshots. But the first thumbnail, the first one right there in the recents folder, I swear to God my blood turned cold. It was Sarah, naked, on all fours, surrounded by 3 men. One of them I recognized, our neighbor Paul. The second was definitely one of the gym coaches from her school. The third, I had no idea who he was. I stared at the image like it wasn't real. like my brain was trying to unsee it, even while my eyes confirmed every dirty detail. Her face, her body, her wedding ring still on, and she was smiling, moaning, submitting. She looked alive in a way I hadn't seen in years. The video started automatically. Her voice filled the room. I dropped the tablet like it burned me. My knees gave out, my ears rang like I was back under enemy fire. Everything spun. 15 years. 15 fucking years. And while I was getting shot at across the world, she was here, getting filled by men I shook hands with, by men who looked me in the eye. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't crying. She wasn't manipulated. She wanted it. She chose it. She reveled in it. That's when I knew the battlefield wasn't behind me. It was right here, in my own damn house. And I had no idea how deep the betrayal went yet.
I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the kitchen, lights off, just staring into the dark like some ghost. Every creak of the house made me flinch. My heart beat like I was in a firefight. That image, that goddamn video, played on a loop in my head. Sarah's moans, her hands clutching bedsheets, her body twisting under men who weren't me. I tried to tell myself it was old, maybe before we met. But no! The hair was recent, the tattoos on Paul's arms matched, and I recognized the bedroom. It was ours. They did it in our bed. The one we bought together after my second tour. The same bed our kids crawled into during thunderstorms. The rage hit me slow. Not explosive. More like a virus taking over my whole system. Quiet, steady, permanent. I didn't confront her right away. I needed to know everything. Who, when, how long. I made a copy of the video and uploaded it to a flash drive. Then I dug deeper. The tablet had more. Hidden folders, old message screenshots, blurred out faces, even an email thread where she called me the distant one and said she was tired of being a widow with a breathing husband. That line broke something in me. I was over there giving every part of myself to the army, and she was here rewriting our story like I'd abandoned her. Over the next few days, I started watching her differently. She'd come home from school with that innocent smile, kiss me on the cheek, ask if I wanted mashed potatoes or rice, like everything was fine, like she wasn't a liar. I noticed more things now. She kept her phone with her at all times, even in the bathroom. She got text messages late, turned over in bed to hide the screen glow. Once I heard her whispering in the laundry room. I stepped closer. She said, "I miss you too. I wish we had more time." My blood went cold. She came out smiling like nothing happened. I nodded, played dumb. Inside, I was planning. I bought a second phone, installed a recording app, hid it under the couch cushions, under our bed, even in the car. I knew I was crossing a line, but she'd already shattered every line we had. 2 days later, I got what I needed. Audio of her telling Paul she was free Friday night and that Daniel still thinks he's his loyal little housewife. That was it. That's when the switch flipped. Not just betrayal, not just lust, but cruelty, disrespect, mocking, laughing behind my back while using my name. She was proud of it, proud of playing me. I sat there gripping that phone, every muscle in my body tight. I'd killed men overseas for less. But this was different. This wasn't war. This was home. And the war had followed me here.
That Friday came faster than I expected. She kissed me goodbye like always, said she was going out for drinks with the girls. I just nodded, smiled even. Inside I was boiling. She walked out that door wearing heels I'd never seen before, a red dress that clung to her hips and perfume she never used around me. That wasn't for the girls. That was for them. Paul and whoever the hell else she was screwing. I waited exactly 45 minutes. just like her message said. Then I followed. I knew where she was going. I'd tracked her movements for days now. A cheap motel just outside town, the kind truckers stop at. I parked across the street in a church lot and watched. It didn't take long. Paul showed up first, looking around like a damn teenager sneaking out. Then another guy pulled up. Older, beard, gym bag. I didn't recognize him. A second affair. Or was this all some kind of sick routine? They knocked once, twice, and then the door opened. My wife, laughing, holding the door wide, letting them in. All of them together in that filthy room. I sat there, in silence, fists clenched on the wheel, trying to decide what kind of man I was about to become. A minute passed, then 10. I could have walked away. I could have turned off the engine, gone home, pretended none of this existed. But I didn't. I got out. My boots hit the pavement with that same weight they did overseas. Steady. Cold. Purposeful. I walked across the lot like I'd trained to do. Quiet. Head down. Aware of exits. Corners. Movement. Room 208. The curtains were closed, but light flickered behind them. I stepped closer. Voices. Music. Laughter. Then I heard her, my wife, moaning. Again. I stood there, 1 foot from the door, heartbeat in my throat. I had my burner phone in my pocket, already recording. I lifted it, pressed record on video, and knocked. Silence. Then stepfoots. A man's voice. "Who is it?" I didn't answer, just knocked again. Then the door opened. Paul stood there half naked, a towel around his waist, eyes wide like he'd seen a ghost. Behind him I saw the other guy, shirtless, smug, and my wife, bent over the edge of the bed, barely covered, turning around in shock. Her eyes locked on mine and she froze. Time didn't stop. It collapsed. My voice came out calm, too calm. "Smile for the camera." I lifted the phone. Her face drained. She screamed, pulled the sheet up, ran to slam the door, but I was already gone. I didn't need to stay. I'd seen enough, recorded enough. That night I sent the footage to her parents, her sister, and 3 of our closest friends. I even CC'd her boss. No caption, just truth. 10 years of marriage, shredded in 1 click. I didn't care anymore. She wanted to destroy everything. I'd make sure she had to watch it burn.
The morning after the video went out was quiet. Too quiet. No texts from her, no calls. Just silence. I sat at the kitchen table sipping coffee like nothing had happened, like the night before hadn't ripped apart the last 10 years of my life. Around 8:23 a.m., her phone began to ring from the hallway floor where she dropped her purse the night before. 3 missed calls from her sister, 2 from her boss, and 1 from her mother. The last text said, "What the hell is this video, Emily?" I didn't even flinch. I just watched it all unfold, minute by minute, like a man watching a house he once built slowly burn to ash. Around 9, the front door opened. She walked in like a ghost, disheveled, no makeup, heels in hand, her red dress wrinkled and reeking of cheap perfume and regret. She didn't say a word at first. She just stood there staring at me. Her eyes were already wet, red-rimmed. Then it started. The shaking voice. The tears. "I can explain," she croaked. "It wasn't what you think." I laughed. Actually laughed. You mean it wasn't two guys inside you in a cheap motel bed while I was home feeding lies to our children? She fell to her knees, sobbing. Please, it was a mistake. I wasn't thinking. I felt alone. You were always gone. I didn't know how to feel loved anymore. That was the excuse. That I was gone. That I served my country. That somehow my deployments made her bend over for two men at once. I stood over her, cold as stone. You weren't alone. You were bored. And now you're exposed. She tried to grab my hand, but I stepped back. I had already called a lawyer that morning, had the paperwork ready. I didn't want to fight. I wanted closure. And revenge, yes, the legal kind. The kind that leaves scars deeper than fists ever could. Over the next 2 weeks, everything unraveled for her. Her boss suspended her after HR reviewed the video. Apparently, she'd used that same motel during work hours. Her sister blocked her. Her mom called me in tears, saying she was so ashamed of the daughter she thought she raised better. And Paul? Gone. Blocked her. Denied everything. The other guy? Some gym rat with no job and a wife of his own, apparently. She was just a toy to them, disposable. And now, no one wanted her. Not even me. Our kids, thank God they were still too young to understand the full story, only sensed the tension. Why is Mommy crying all the time? My son asked one night. I didn't answer. How could I? I moved into the guest room while she stayed in the master like a ghost in her own life, walking the halls like she was haunted by the choices she made. She kept trying to talk to me, leave notes, send emails. One said, "You were the best thing in my life. I ruined it. I hate myself." I didn't reply. I just let her rot in the mess she made. She chose those men. She chose that room. Now she could live in the silence of what she destroyed.
It's been 14 months since that night. 14 months since I hit play on that hidden camera footage and watched the woman I once swore to protect betray me in a way I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. People always talk about heartbreak like it's some poetic thing. Slow motion tears, sad songs, quiet loneliness. But this was like a grenade in my chest. I didn't just lose a wife. I lost trust. I lost sleep. I lost the version of myself that believed love could be enough. We finalized the divorce 7 months ago. I got full custody. She didn't even fight it. She moved 3 states away, closer to her sister, though I hear they barely speak. Her life imploded in ways I couldn't have planned if I tried. The video made the rounds, and no amount of PR could erase it. Even after I took it down, someone else had saved it, re-uploaded it, spread it. She tried to apply for a job at a new office, and they Googled her name. First result. She became a cautionary tale. Karma didn't need me to help anymore. And me? I'm not okay. Not in the way people expect. I still flinch when my phone buzzes at night. I still hesitate when a woman smiles at me too long. I don't trust softness like I used to. But I'm stronger now. Sharper. I go to therapy twice a month. I started writing again. Hell, I even started training guys at the local veteran center how to spot red flags, not just in relationships, but in themselves. How to know when you're numbing pain instead of healing it. My kids? They're my anchor. My son still asks where Mommy went. I tell him she lives somewhere far away but loves him. That's not a lie. She does love him. She just didn't know how to love a family without destroying it. I used to think I failed her. That maybe if I had been more present, more romantic, more something, she wouldn't have strayed. But now I know better. Betrayal isn't caused. It's chosen. It takes effort, planning, secrecy. It's not an accident. It's a decision made again and again. She didn't just cheat on me. She disrespected our home, our vows, our kids. She lied to my face while sleeping with 2 other men behind my back. And the moment she thought I'd never find out, she smiled like it was all normal. But here I am, standing, breathing,
raising 2 beautiful kids and building something honest from the rubble she left behind. I don't know if I'll ever love again the way I once did, but I do know this. I'd rather walk alone in truth than sleep beside someone drowning in lies. And if she ever wonders if I miss her, I don't. I miss the version of her that never existed. The one I imagined. The one I loved. The one who never would have done what she did. That woman died the moment she opened that motel room door. And I buried her the night I hit record.